Welcome back to What's Real. Filmmakers and composers go together. They are essential to create what we see on the big screen, and it is my pleasure to talk with BMI's Vice President of Television, Film, and Visual Media Relations, Doreen Ringer-Ross, as well as composer Heather McIntosh, about their relationship with Sundance and how they bring those composers and filmmakers together. Welcome to What's Real.
Well, gosh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. So tell me about, you're a veteran of the Sundance Film Festival, and you've had a relationship with Sundance for many, many years with BMI. It's kind of a passion project for you. Tell me about that.
Well, as soon as I hooked on to what Sundance's mission statement was about, really trying to develop and give a leg up to developing talent that, original voices with something substantial to say, I just glommed onto it because I have a background in artist development, and we've just kind of created this platform for composers that helps them develop their careers along. So one of the main components of that became our alliance with the Sundance Institute and the lab that they started in many incarnations over the years, the last one being probably the last 20 years. That's how long I've been at it.
Wow.
but what it does is it takes musical artists that have a voice that we find to be really unique. They don't have to have a background necessarily in scoring any movies or television, but they have to show that potential. We pull them into the lab, which has now evolved to being the Sundance Composer and Sound Design Lab at Skywalker, and we do it up at Skywalker Sound up in Marin County in California. But we pair them with developing filmmakers, which is what makes it so unique, because at any scoring program, at USC or at Berkeley, bless them, they're fabulous, but they don't have that component where they can put filmmakers together with composers. And film schools don't do that either. So there's always that missing link, and that's what's so key about the lab. So Heather was amazing because she was a fellow in the lab the first year we did it up at Skywalker. And then, was it last year or the year before?
Last year,
back
yeah.
As an advisor already.
Yeah.
That's how her career has been ascending. But that's kind of the path we took. And every year at this festival, we do a composer-director roundtable. So that's what we're doing here tomorrow, and Heather's on it with her filmmaker, and she'll tell you about the film in a second. But what that's designed to do is to promote that same agenda from the lab of putting a composer and a director together and really exploring that creative process and the communication process together.
Because the lab is quite exclusive. You have to apply, you only accept a certain number of people. So it's an incredible opportunity, but the roundtable is another opportunity for people, for really everyone who's a part of Sundance, to come together and learn more about this entire process with directors and filmmakers alike.
Well, and also for developing talent, there are these key moments where you move through the ladder of your career, and the lab is one step that's very base, and it has to do with really just learning the skills. And Sundance is another one of those, monumental moments where if you, as a filmmaker or as a composer, have a film that comes to Sundance, that's a moment to shine lights and, bang gongs and really try to maximize your exposure and your networking and all the rest of what comes with it being here.
Absolutely. So Heather, congratulations on graduating from the Composers Lab.
Yes, yes.
So what kind of opportunities has that given you?
Well, it's to be part of the lab program as an alumni. I had a few films in the festival before I went to the labs. I applied like 6 times to get in. It's really, and it's such a great formula because because I come from an indie rock background, but also a concert music composition background, and worked at a video store, did all the very film nerdy things at the same time. So they needed to have one of me and one person who maybe came from a more traditional USC background. All these different.
We create a palette of talent.
So you need to have it perfect. But it happened for me at the exact right moment. If I would have gotten in that first year, I would have never had the actual applied experience of making a film with a director and being the composer. And so I'm so glad that I had a couple chances to do it on my own, come up here to Sundance at the festival with that. I had a film called Compliance that came in 2012, and that was my first time up here. And to just have an opportunity to work with the talent, the mentors that they offer us and the sound designers that they offer, they give us such a true sense of the art of making. And I'm so thankful for that. And then just to meet Doreen, who was...
I made you cry.
You made me cry. Well, it's so great, because I felt like when I first started composing, I felt like I had to be so, like, look, I'm professional. I can do it. I'll turn everything on time. You know, it's the way I had to behave in college when I was doing concert music. I felt like I had to play act at what a composer needs to be. And it was kind of through you that you're like, all of the emotions that you have from your life, any hardship, any of this other stuff, is the stuff that like builds the art. And it's what are you doing it for if it's not for the art of it? And I feel so thankful to have an opportunity to be sort of guided through my career, through wonderful people like you, to like have an opportunity to be like, I can, you know, I never really worried about the gender bias thing, or I just like, well, I'm a composer, I don't need to worry about that. But it is a part of the equation, and to be able to embrace my gender as part of this making, you know, like the storytelling, everything else. It just is a great way to blossom.
Absolutely.
You know?
And I know you guys are looking for authentic, original voices. You want people to be their true selves and not pretend like they have to be a certain way. So in the short amount of time we have left, tell me a little bit about To the Stars. That's a beautiful film, filmed in Oklahoma, all in black and white, about a friendship. Tell me a little bit about the composing process for that film.
Martha Stevens is the director. She found me, and it's a black and white, beautiful. I watched it without any score at all. I just took in the whole film, and so I had a general idea of where we were thinking music was going to exist, but just to watch it without any musical temp score or anything like that, just to be able to watch it down and sort of feel these characters. And there's, you know, it's two girls in high school just not really finding their way yet, and I don't know, just the landscape is so beautiful, and it really informed, like, immediately. It was sort of an instrumentation thing where it's like, oh, we need to have open tuning guitar, we need to have I play cello and bass, so I did that, and then woodwinds, and then the rest sort of just there's a little bit of just what it felt like it needed. There's a little bit of magic on top. Sure, there's theory and all the other business, but like
the film inspired
it really
you.
Sort of grew very quickly and organically from that. The picture. It's so rich. It's really beautiful.
Oh, it just seems like an incredible film. I'm excited to see it and hear what you have to say. So Doreen, we are sadly out of time. I could talk to you guys all day long, but tell me a little more details about the BMI roundtable discussion. The
BMI roundtable happens tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the Kimball Arts Center. And there's about 15 people on it, different pairings and different composers. And we should hopefully make it interesting, so I hope people come.
I'm sure you will. Very inspiring. Well, thank you, Doreen and Heather, for joining us here on Park City Television. I know you're busy, so we appreciate it.
Likewise.
So
all right, so check out BMI. Their roundtable discussion is tomorrow. Also, try and see To the Stars, Heather's film. I'm sure the composition is incredible. I'm excited to see it myself. Follow #BMI Sundance if you want more information as well. All right, much more coming up on What's Real right after this quick break.